TRT World's extensive coverage on Turkey's historic election continues here on the grounds of the Turkish parliament. I want to turn immediately to my guest. He's Akif Kirecci. He's a professor at Bilkent University, also the chair at the Ankara Center for Political and Economic Research. Professor, thank you very much for joining us now.
Thank you.
I want to start with the polls. Most of them got it pretty much very wrong. Were you surprised by the result?
Well, actually, none of the pollsters didn't predict that this was coming. In fact, one company predicted the vote would be, AK Party's vote would be around 45%, but that even was the closest one. So it was a big surprise, and it was a good surprise. So people, Turkish voters, voted for stability. They didn't like the uncertainty. They didn't like what would be ahead of their future. Parties coming together and not forming or not being able to form coalition. So they voted for stability.
One of the dramatic elements of yesterday's vote was how many votes the HDP lost. When you look at it on a nationwide basis, they lost close to 1 million votes.
1 million votes, yes.
What do you think
almost
was the reason behind that?
In fact, on June 7th, Turkish voters granted a huge opportunity to HDP, a pro-PKK party. That would, perhaps it was in the hope that it would bring some of the alienated Kurdish population into the center and make part of the system. But that was with a condition. That condition was to put as much distance as possible with the PKK, the terrorist organization that would back the party. So HDP was unable to do that clearly. I mean, their leaders were faltering. Here's a supporting statement for the peace and democracy and the democratic system. And then in other places, towards their constituencies, they likened the backing of the PKK. So Turkish voters didn't like that idea. They wanted HDP to be member of the parliament, their ideas to be presented in the Turkish parliament. That's a big, huge democratic development in Turkey, but not with the support of the PKK.
Very briefly, what does this mean for the peace process that's been basically shelved since the last elections?
I think it sends a clear message to HDP leaders and also the PKK that they should drop the gunfight, they should drop the arms and be part of the peace process, absolutely, with no possibility of thinking about, armed warfare here and there. Therefore, the message is clear that the state and the Kurdish people should negotiate the peace process, not the state or ruling party and the PKK or their some auxiliaries.
Professor Akif Kirecci, thank you for that analysis.
Thank you very much.
Imran, we're going to continue our coverage here on the Turkish parliament on the Turkey's historic elections. But for the moment, let's hand it back to you.